I'm David Fiske, and I'm the author of this book, Forgotten on the Kennebec, Abandoned Places and Quirky People. In the book, I tell the histories of several places along Maine's famed Kennebec River, and I also relate the stories of some of the interesting people who lived in those places. In this video, I'll summarize one of the stories from the book.
The topic of this video is Swan Island, a Maine ghost town. Swan Island is a small island in the Kennebec River near Richmond, Maine. Don't confuse it with Swan's Island, which is off the Maine coast. In the mid-1800s, it became the town of Perkins. Perkins was always a small town. It never had more than 100 permanent residents. In the 20th century, things began to decline, and eventually just a handful of people lived on the island. Finally, the state took over the properties, most of which had been abandoned, and made the island into a wildlife preserve. Today, the island is managed by Inland Fisheries and Wildlife, and you can visit by making arrangements with them. Call them at 207-547-5322. One of the old houses still standing is the gardiner-dumaresq house. It was built around 1758 by Sylvester Gardner, who gave it to his daughter Rebecca when she married Philip Dumaresq. Their son James drowned into the house in 1826 when his boat capsized. Another tragedy occurred in 1855 when 3 women, including 2 members of the Dumaresq family, also drowned near the house. The house became the property of the Hebbard family, and one member of the family who lived there was William Wallace Hebbard. He had been born in Maine, was a minister for a while, and became an abolitionist. In 1856, he traveled about campaigning for John C. Fremont, who ran for president as an anti-slavery candidate. Hebbard also wrote a long poem called The Night of Freedom, and he traveled around reciting, sometimes singing, his poem to audiences. The poem was about a woman named Margaret Gardner, who put her baby to death rather than have it be returned to slavery. Hebbard, who had also obtained a medical education, was a homeopathic physician and gave popular lectures on health topics in many different cities. His son Ellery, shown here, was also a doctor. He mostly lived in Boston, but he did live in Bath, Maine for a while. He and his wife often summered at the house on Swan Island and hosted many picnics there. I hope you found this short video interesting. For more information on Swan Island, including history and stories, see my book, Forgotten on the Kennebec.